Hey guys, welcome to the next tutorial for ethical hacking and penetration testing via Kali Linux. So in the previous tutorial I showed you from where we could go ahead and download Kali Linux and the specific operating system that I would need and the VMware workstation. And if you want, you can also go ahead and use Windows XP or Vista. That is what most people use, but I would suggest going ahead and downloading Windows 7 as well. If you don't want to go ahead and spend money on going ahead and downloading operating system, then you can also anytime go ahead and although I don't support piracy, but still you can go ahead and download the Windows 7 activated versions and activated versions on torrent, and you can go ahead and download them. You'll see a lot of these things, and I specifically state that I don't support piracy, but still, just in case, I too believe that all softwares should be free, so that's the reason I'm telling you that you can go ahead and download this. But this is just for your home purpose that I would be suggesting you to download. So once you have the Windows 7 version, and you might be wondering that why I am not asking you to go ahead and download the Windows 8. The reason being that Windows 8 and 8.1, though I am using it in my computer, it has hell lot of bugs, trust me guys. And if you go and download that, then leave hacking behind. You just have to go ahead and go ahead and configure your operating system, that's Windows 8 or 8.1, to go ahead and solve its bug. You will just be sitting to solve this bug rather than going ahead and learning them, because that's what Windows 8.1 will do. So unless you know what you're doing, Windows 8 I won't suggest that, because it has a lot of bugs in its updates. So you need to be very careful when you are going ahead and downloading the updates for that. So speaking of Kali Linux, as you know how to go ahead and download that, I'll show you how to install that. And whenever you install any kind of operating system in a VMware, you will see it over here on the left hand side, and whichever system you have. So I'll just go ahead and tell you how we can go ahead and start downloading installing the Kali Linux. So, and just before I go ahead and show you how to install the Kali Linux, I'll also go ahead and open my notepad. Let me check. Okay, so there are a few different ways as to how we can go and install the Kali Linux. The first and the most important way would be, I'll just go and note it down, would be through VMware, and the second would be on a physical operating system, which would be the same. It would almost be the same as VMware, and the third one would be it would just be a bit different, the physical operating system. And third way to install would be dual booting with Windows. The fourth way would be to go ahead and this is one of the toughest way, because I know that a lot of people would be using Macintosh or a Mac rather than a normal laptop. The reason being that it's far more faster and softer to use to that operating system, but still there would be some people who would want to dual boot it on a Kali Linux. I know that people who are using MacBook will not go ahead and replace Macintosh OS X, but still there are ways how you can go ahead and dual boot that. So I'll also go ahead and teach you that in this tutorial, and this would be for the OS X version. And the last and the final one would be, I'll just go ahead and mark it is important. I'll just go ahead and let me check if I could increase the font. Okay, perfect. And the last and the most important thing as to how, if you ask me or any penetration tester, how they actually go ahead and use, they don't use it in any specific PC or any laptop. The reason being that it leaves, although Kali Linux is extremely, or I can say the best operating system we ever had in penetration testing or hacking, there's still ways how how a forensic investigator can go ahead and trace it back to you. So that is the reason most people don't go ahead and install it physically, either VMware or any other thing. If you're using VMware, then I would suggest also going ahead and downloading the Whonix version, because that makes you almost anonymous. And just in case you don't know what Whonix is, I'll also go ahead and show you. It's an operating system which goes ahead and makes you anonymous when going ahead and, let's say, downloading something or browsing something, but still it depends upon how you go ahead and browse the internet, or someone can still trace it back to you if you're not smart enough. So, and I won't be teaching you how to install Whonix. It was just an example of that. So, but why go through all of this trouble when you can simply keep your physical operating system, Windows or Mac, the way you want it, and without interrupting anything, no VMware or spending money, no physical operating system, no dual booting, anything, there is still a way how we can go ahead and use Kali Linux, and that is called as live USB or live Kali. That's what it is known as. And inside that we have again two different methods. That would be normal installation, or the second one would be the persistent way. And I would suggest going through the persistent way. The reason being that I won't tell it to you right now, but when I would be going ahead and teaching it to you, I will show you. And so coming back to the VMware, I'll just go ahead and show you how we can go ahead and install that. You just need to go ahead and click on the create new virtual machine, and we will be using the custom because we need to know exactly what we are doing. Next, it's a VMware Workstation 9. Perfect. So these are the limitations for this VMware Workstation 9. 64 GB memory, 8 processor limit, and 10 network adapter limit, and 2 TB hard disk size.